Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out episode number 24 of ReZero. This is the penultimate episode. Very excited to see just what direction we take as we approach the finale of this episode. I know that things are going to probably leave off in a cliffhanger-y sort of way, but it's nice to know that we have season 2 that we can just start whenever we want. We don't have to wait several years like some of you guys might have had to back in the day when season 1 wrapped up. Now that we have been reset back to probably after we beat the White Whale, I can't imagine we're going to have to defeat the White Whale again and then get to a point to leave off in the span of 2 episodes. I can't imagine that's going to happen, but if it does, you know, we'll see what happens differently this time. Maybe we can save more lives. But going back to get a reset here, while yes, it is upsetting that we did reset after making all those bonds and strengthening bonds with Ferris, Wilhelm, with Julius, even if you could say they didn't really strengthen any kind of bond, they were fighting with one another. Oh, I've also realized my webcam is all the way over there. Normally I center it for this little intro, but you'll have to forgive me. I'm too eager to watch the episode, I guess. But within this situation, all those bonds with Ricardo, with the Yappers, with Krush, maybe after the White Whale, who knows how far we're getting reset, those could all be up in the air. We don't know if we still have those bonds. We don't know if anything is different now. So we'll see what changes. We'll see what happens. And maybe we can save the villagers' lives this time in this cycle, if you will. So here we go. ReZero, episode 24. Let's go. We gotta get to a point where we can round out a finale. So I'm sure this will be a very interesting watch to see just what changes, what the differences are here. So let's go. Well, it's been a while. Oh, not the Appa guy. Surely we're not going back that far. Ricardo. Okay, this is the circle after we beat the White Whale. Jeez. Ferris, come on. Be so real. You were literally right there when we died, so that's crazy seeing you immediately. Yo, you're saying that out loud? You said that out loud? That's crazy. Oh, okay, so Petelgeuse. Yes. Wow, they're catching on. Let's go. This is true. Oh. What is it? Okay. The fingers! Yes. Spare bodies? That is a crazy arrangement. Ah, okay. Yes, that's so smart. How do you just say that? Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Poor Amelia. She just wants to be treated like normal, like a normal person. Yeah, she can't even have normal dreams. Oh. Puck, you're so good. Even if you've killed us like several times at this point. Yeah, this is true. It's like, you gotta try. A two-way relationship. Thank you, Puck. At least Amelia knows she'll always have you. Yeah, what's Ram doing in the village? Puck's markings, like the white, is very Sprigatito-like. Is it Sprigatito or Sprigatito? I don't even know. Ram is back. Wilhelm, we didn't send a letter. Haha, an actual emissary. Let's go. Oh, the letter still arrived.
我が主が本来お伝えしたい内容とは齟齬がございます。お屋敷に残られている方々と村の住人には一度避難していただく。それがクルシ様のご意向です。
森の近くに犯罪集団が
Yep, they're gonna kill everyone. A lot of innocent lives are gonna be lost.
どうしてクルシ様がこの領地のために力を尽くしてくれるの
Thank you, boy.
辺境伯よりこたびの王戦における同盟関係を持ちかけられております。
Okay, so this is how Amelia learns about the alliance.
ひとまず王都へ行けるのは半数。
あとの半数はラムの案内で聖域へ避難。
The sanctuary?
ワル様がそちらに向かわれています。
Roswell is heading there.
そうなんだ。
Where is Roswell and how is he learning about what's happening here?
都合が良すぎるような。
Oh, scared the shit out of me, jeez. Are we pretending to be someone else? Oh no.
村の人たちに説明はすでに滞りなく済んでおります。エミリア様。
Everyone knows. Everyone's ahead.
バック。
Betty will remain.
ベティは行けないのよ。
Huh.
帰りを待ってるかしら。
Why are you not going, Beatrice? What duty do you have to stay here? Yeah, that's probably true. She cannot leave the mansion, but she left the mansion in like episode 8? 7 or 8? Little sister? I don't understand this whole familial thing that Puck does. Because I don't know if it's literal. I don't know what to think of it. There's no way she did not know that was Subaru, right? Oh. Are you going to the sanctuary? Oh, you're thinking about protecting them?
その子たちに確認したことがありますか？
聞かなくたって分かってるの。それがお互いのためだって。
子供6人、竜車は1台。ここでつまずいてちゃ。君の願いをどうやって叶える？
Oh?
あなたは
Are you Subaru?
君はあのお姉さんと一緒の竜車はどうしても嫌か？
Aw.
お姉ちゃん、お芋のハンコのお姉ちゃんでしょ？いつもスバルと一緒に朝のラジオ体操を見に来てくれてた。
Aw.
それはいつ
So
も顔は見え
sweet.
なかったけど、お姉ちゃんがスバルと楽しそうに話してるの見てたもん。一緒に乗ろう。
Aw, that's all she needed.
お姉ちゃんと一緒に行く。
That's so sweet. Children who don't have this ingrained feeling and prejudice are so open and kind, and that's exactly what Amelia needed.
どこに行っちゃったの？
He's gone. He never lingers for too long, our Subaru, does he? Oh shit, here we go, the merchant. What?
なるほど。周りとの連絡手段だけが謎だったけど、つくづく見てやって便利なもんだ。お前は
Jeez, I was gonna say there's no way this is Subaru, so what's happening? But it is Wilhelm, Ferris, and Julius, of course. Haha. A trade secret?
魔女教の連絡役のお前にせっかくなんで罠を張った。何もかも先回りされて潰される。その恐ろしさを存分に味わわせてやるぜ。
Let's go, Subaru. Subaru's just like, yeah, I'm a badass now. I'm locked in and you guys are going down. I love it. Oh, but now we gotta get down to business. We're sending Wilhelm with Amelia. I think that is probably the right call.
言い方に気をつけろ。内容一緒でも人聞き悪すぎだろ。
随分と奇妙な術式で編まれたローブだ。
ロズワール手製の便利グッズで認識阻害の術式が編み込まれてるらしい。
Prevents recognition.
さて、計画通り白紙の新書対策もうまくいったし。
Yes, we did make corrections, thank God. Ram using, yep. The letter was a mistake, it was my fault. That's really funny. Just like, please notice.
エミリアがあの子がみんなと仲良くなれる子なんだって、それを分かり合うための機会を与えてほしい。その機会を作るための時間を俺たちに守らせてほしい。
Wow, we went the like the route where we actually just beg.
そんなに一生懸命
Yeah, it's. I think they recognize that it's for great reasons. That's nice. I'm glad that they all recognize he has their best intentions in mind.
ジーンとさせてもらったし。
氷返すな恥ずかしい。
I'm glad we don't skip over that and we actually address what he did differently. Holy shit, Ricardo.
居所が割れとる連中に奇襲やぞ。案内地図様々やな。
ってことは地図の印は奴らの拠点で間違いなかったわけだ。
これで奴らの連絡網は潰れたやろ。
皆殺しだ。人聞き悪いこと言わないですよ。ちゃんと捕虜も取りましたです。
A prisoner. Otto?
そいつ魔女教じゃねえ。
Yeah, I was gonna say, what the hell?
出てこないと思ったら捕まってたのかよ。おっと
Did they just kill a bunch of innocent merchants?
助けていただいてありがとうございます。
For Otto. I mean, I'm glad he's finally shown up because I was wondering where he was too. Damn, Otto's just strung along with this now. He's just like, what the hell am I doing here?
今度こそ決着だ。
Let's go!
平と運命様に目に
The onslaught. Petelgeuse.
よくおいでになりました。
Believer in love. Tell us your name. Des.
魔女教滞在式。
Petelgeuse Romani-Conti. Des. Yeah. That was like his most tame introduction yet.
この身この魂、こたびの試練を取り仕切る司教様の指先。
That's really funny.
あなたのような経験な信徒をこれまで見過ごした私の態度をどうかお許しをお許しをお許しをお許しをお許しを。
I'm guessing this doesn't happen often. Yo, you're literally bonkers.
魔女様ならば愛すべき信徒の傷つく姿より試練を遂行するあり方を喜ばれるはずです。
すべてあなたのおっしゃる通りです。そう試練。今の私に求められるのは試練。あなたの言葉で目が覚めたのです。
Open my eyes. Oh. Petelgeuse. You're about to be killed. It's a worthy vessel? Oh! That's crazy.
魔女にふさわしき器足らんとするならば、いずれ来たる運命の日こそ魔女はこの地に最短せり
The coming fated day.
エミリア自身のことはついでで何の価値も見てないのか。
Jeez.
福音の提示を。
おつったおつった。聞いてた通りに怖い。
一体あなたは。あなた方は何よ。
Tora, tora, tora? Oh shit! Let's go! Damn, look at her. She's the best girl. Unseen hand? Damn, that's crazy because we can see it.
なぜ我が剣能が見えているのですか。
俺の体に残りがいっぱいつけてく魔女に聞いてくれよ。おっと、俺と違ってお前は自由に魔女と面会できる許可証はもらってないんだったかな。
Aha! You don't have the same abilities that I do.
ハートをギュッと掴まれた中だよ。文字通り。
Literally. But why did she bring us here is the question.
行くぜバトラッシュ。
Holy shit! Wow! It's a self-moving like vehicle of sorts. I don't know.
お前は最高だバトラッシュ。
You are the best.
しかししかししかししかしここまでバテた。
Oh shit, okay. This looks really bad now. The yappers! The yappers are here. We can always count on them. But you didn't get caught in it.
どういたしまして。イエーイ。
Yay!
滞在司教ですです。
Absolutely. Ah, they can't see the hands. My name is Natsuki Subaru.
悪夢なら俺の方が死ぬほど見た。 俺の名前は夏木スバル。金髪のハーフエルフ、エミリアの騎士だ。
Oh shit, we're proclaiming ourselves as a knight again.
俺の欲しがる看板はそれだけで。いらねえよ。
Oh shit, this is where we jumped to our death all that time ago.
一度俺が終わったことのある場所。
Yeah.
そんでもってお前にとっても終わりの場所になる。
Your time ends here.
何を用意したのですか。
決まってる。天敵だよ。俺とお前の共通の。
Julius?
天敵とは
Yeah, it was like natural enemy. Is it like the knights? Oh shit, look at him, he's so majestic. Those spirits look so cool. Imperial Knight. We're here to take you down. Oh, the Kingdom Sword. Oh, you cannot compete with Spirit Arts users? Hell yeah, take his ass down, let's go. I mean, I'm gonna miss Petelgeuse, as crazy as that sounds. Absolutely it was. But it still happened. Yep, exactly. Yep, you're the one with the shining sword. Come on, Subaru.
手足折られて普通に考えりゃトラウマだぞ。
Jeez.
手加減知らねえのかてめえ。
言っておくが、あれでも
I held back a lot. I could have ended your life.
やっぱお前最高に嫌なやつだ。
Someone who's naturally gifted, unlike you? That's funny. Greatest Knight?
お前を信じる。
The greatest
お前
Knight.
が騎士だってことを俺の恥が知ってるからだ。
ならば、私は全霊で
Petelgeuse. Run! It's over. It's so over. Jeez, look at the amount of hands right now. He's desperate. Oh, the desperation is insane right now. Holy. Al Clarista. Holy shit, the light that shines through the darkness. He doesn't need to be able to. It's not a sense, it's all in here.
見えてるのは俺だ、ペテルギウス。
We're passing it on to Julius. Because we're passing it through the gates because we used the other thing. What's it called? I can't remember. That's so cool. Next. Oh, that's badass. Julius and Subaru, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with together. Holy shit. Jeez. It makes me feel sick. That's so cool. Have Subaru's eyes changed? Using your eyes, yeah. My friend, yes! The self-proclaimed knight and the greatest knight. What a perfect episode title for this episode. Wow, that was incredible. What a great finale to this episode. Wow, that was such a fun episode of ReZero. As much as, you know, the whole starting section of this episode was about getting from point A to point B to point C, and point C to point D, just moving all the parts, moving all the pieces in place for what was to come. It was so crazy that the final section of this episode was as hype and as fun as it was. I was not expecting it. I thought that we would get all of this kind of stuff in the next episode, the finale. But I guess we got to wrap this up in the first half of the next episode so that the second half can kind of wrap up the season. So it makes a lot of sense that that my thinking was wrong about what the order of things would be here. But I think that the way Subaru has continuously proven that he is learning and improving how he uses his return by death is such a treat to see, because, like, obviously I hate seeing him die and repeat these same moments as much as the last guy, but at the same time, I love to see that each time he does it, he learns something new and he is able to incorporate that into his planning for what he does next. And it also helps to make things feel less hopeless. I don't know, because it feels like he's kind of getting the hang of things now and he understands how things work. He understands how just his whole return by death stuff works, what he can say, what he can't say, how he can convince people, how he can use his words to just further things. And yeah, I think that the way that this episode showed how all that works was just really well done here. I'm very, very impressed by Subaru once again. I do think the structure of this episode worked really well. I wasn't really expecting this episode to kind of hit the heights that it did, because I did think that we were going to spend a lot of this episode kind of getting back to the point we were at. Like, I'm glad that they kind of did skim over a lot of those same things that happened in the previous episode and the previous episodes. But at the same time, I'm glad that we still addressed those things. We didn't just skim over them entirely. We didn't get to the point where none of that was really important or relevant. We showed how Subaru addressed each of those points. And the first thing he does is he shares the new information he's found about Petelgeuse being able to transfer bodies once he's killed. So then that's when Julius is like, okay, well, in that case, we just have to kill off all these bodies that he can possess and then kill him. And Subaru's just like, oh, one little thing. I think I could also be possessed. And we don't really know what happened after he said that. We kind of just skip ahead. I have to imagine there were some alarms ringing from characters that were in the circle. So we don't know what the plan they came up with was or what they kind of said or did, but the assumption has to be that what happens at the end of the episode with Julius showing up has to be a part of that. Julius maybe knows something, as a group they all realize something, and they figured out a way to potentially protect Subaru while taking down Betelgeuse. So whatever it is, I'm sure we will learn that going into the next episode, just what it was that they decided upon or they figured out, because I don't really understand it. Maybe it's that because Subaru's body is being used by someone else, Petelgeuse cannot possess him because he's already, like I just said, being used. So it's like only one person can use a body at one time, someone else's body at one time, and it's not like there's a waiting line. Like, if the spirit isn't able to take over Subaru in that moment, or whatever it happens to be, his soul, the soul of Petelgeuse, if it can't take over Subaru in that moment, then maybe it just moves on. I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll get some answers, but for now, just some ideas. Then there's this really kind of horrific moment where we're getting these intense flashbacks to moments where Emilia has been called out, called all these awful names by other characters. She's felt betrayed. Especially scenes with Subaru were pretty prevalent when she was asking if he could treat her like a normal person, and Subaru was like, no, I could never do that. So she obviously is a character who has a lot of these internal struggles, and we don't really ever see that. She puts on a brave face for the most part, and it's only been in scenes kind of with Subaru where she has been vulnerable, but even then she wasn't fully vulnerable because Subaru didn't allow her to be, in a way. But within these scenes here, we get a pretty clear idea of how she feels about everyone calling her all these things, and it harks back to when Subaru was saying to, I think it was Ram, or maybe it was Ferris, I can't remember, but it was in the village in the previous episode, maybe 2 episodes ago, where he said that he knows Emilia isn't the sort of person who could just roll over and accept the mean words that they're saying. Puck once again makes it abundantly clear that Puck is here for Emilia, nobody else. Puck will do whatever Emilia wants. Puck will be there for Emilia, and I guess we kind of already knew that. Like, that's not surprising whatsoever to us, but that's when then Ram appears, I think, and we go downstairs to meet Ram, and we learn about all this information regarding the blank letter, it being bullshit because she has brought along Wilhelm. And we know that Ram was in the town or the village, and that she was in the forest, I guess, because she used her clairvoyance to see where Subaru was. And later in the episode, we see that the reason that she trusted them and they didn't do all this wacky flower bullshit again was because Ram was able to use her clairvoyance and see that Subaru was riding on Patrash, and Ferris, I think, was behind Subaru holding up signs saying, "I'm sorry about the blank letter, it was my mistake." So that kind of clues Ram in that we are here to make amends. We know we sent this fake letter, we know we sent a blank letter, it was a mistake, we don't actually want to start a war, we don't want to start a fight, we are here to make amends. And I feel like the whole thing that we keep skipping over is who interfered and sent a blank letter. Who was it? That's got to be important, because whoever it is really trying to mess with us and really trying to get us in trouble. But thankfully Wilhelm is here, and Wilhelm is able to share information regarding that, because Emilia knows that Wilhelm is part of Krush's camp. So they shed light on everything, and Wilhelm introduces the whole idea of the alliance to Emilia and the whole thing about the mines and everything like that. So Emilia's caught up to speed, and she's like, oh, okay, I see. Well, why does Krush want to bring everyone to safety? Why does she care about this location even still? Like, what's going on here? Emilia had gone to the village prior to today, trying to ask the villagers if they could come to the mansion to be safe, because she sensed something was wrong. She's starting to question things, which is when Subaru bursts into the room. And I thought it was strange he was wearing this cloak. Like, I did recognize it as a similar cloak to the one that Emilia wore, but I didn't realize that the point of this cloak is that it can prevent people from recognizing you. So it's obviously a magical cloak given by Roswell, and that's why Emilia did not recognize Subaru here. I didn't understand why, I didn't know why, but it makes sense because Emilia threw this cloak at Subaru when she left back in the capital. So Subaru theoretically had this on his possession, but he never is shown to be carrying it. So, you know, we just kind of have to forego our logical thinking there and just assume that he's been carrying luggage around and that was within his luggage. And so he's able to come in and basically be like, yeah, so we're going to do this, this, and this. We've got no time to waste. And that's when we learn that Beatrice is staying behind. We don't get really any answers why. It just seems as though Beatrice decides that she wants to stay behind. I don't know or understand why, but you know, I feel sorry for Beatrice. She's constantly on the outside, and it feels like she doesn't necessarily want to be on the outside. It's almost like circumstances are forcing her to stay on the outside and not be involved in anything. Puck calls Beatrice his sister, and I feel like it's not literal. I don't think that this whole familial thing is literal, like with Emilia and Beatrice or anything like that. I feel like this is just the relationships that Puck has. He feels like he's got a sisterly bond with Beatrice. He feels like he has a fatherly bond or whatever with Emilia, perhaps. I'm guessing that that's what it is. It's kind of like a protective thing for Emilia, but just like a nice little bond, like a sibling bond with Beatrice. And then we do get the scene a little later on where Emilia finds out that she's having to travel in a carriage with children, and she's worried for the children's sake. And I think that this is a great insight into how she thinks. She is always thinking about others being in danger simply because of who she is, and the whole situation revolving around her appearance and her race and just everything like that. And so she worries for the children, and she worries that they won't want to be around her. But Subaru steps in and he's like, hey kids, what do you guys want? And the kids are like, we want to travel with Emilia. We want to travel with you. You're that kind lady. You're really nice. You know, we never saw your face. And that's the first clue into like, wait, never saw your face? What the hell? What's up with that? And it kind of like made me think, does the cloak work that well? And you were always laughing and smiling with Subaru. Really, it feels like in this situation, her relationship with Subaru helped to further create bonds and relationships with these children. And it's so like just lovely to see that these kids who don't have these pre-established notions feel trust and feel safe around Emilia, and they don't have these feelings of negativity. And I think that that's really beautifully well presented here within this episode. We confront the witch cult again, the merchant, and we find out that they're using media to display each other's locations and everything like that. And I think that that's really cool. We actually get an insight into different media. We've not really seen media within the series just yet, not really a whole lot anyway. And so seeing that they can use media in this way is so cool, because that's such a useful tool. Like, I wonder if we will actually use these tools in future. But Subaru gives this real badass speech about how we knew all along, we played you for a fool, and now we're going to take down your master. And it's so badass and cool to just see Subaru in this kind of light, because he has always been someone who is always aware of his downfalls and his weaknesses, but to see him play to his strengths and step up and be the front face for all of this, it's really cool to see, because this is the Subaru I know. And then a little bit more time goes on, we learn about how Subaru basically, forgive me if I'm using this wrong, but he basically prostrates himself, where he gets down on his hands and knees, butts his forehead to the dirt, and begs for the people there to trust him and to follow him, to trust Emilia, give Emilia a chance, and to go to safety. And I forgot to mention as well, Ram did say that Roswell was on his way to Sanctuary. We don't know where the Sanctuary is. I feel like this is the first time we've heard about this, and that half of the villagers would be going there to safety. The villagers all listen, of course, and then we cut to Ricardo and a bunch of the little cat people, Anastasia's fighting forces, showing up saying, yep, we took down a bunch, we killed all that we could, and the map helped and the media helped. And then they say, we brought back a prisoner, and this prisoner is poor Otto. Like, that's what makes me wonder now, did they just kill all the merchants apart from Otto? Because that's kind of crazy. Not all the merchants were witch cultists, surely, and poor Otto just so happens to be the one that they spared. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to need more information on that, but I don't know if we'll really tackle that, because I feel like they could have just easily killed a lot of innocent people here. They could have killed Otto. We approach then the finale of this episode, where we tackle the whole situation with Petelgeuse. We go to Petelgeuse and we ask if we can join slothfulness, all of that. Subaru basically is like, I will be a vessel for you if you let me in to your group, your cult. And so Petelgeuse is like, oh my god, there's never been anyone this ready and this willing and this subservient to the witch, essentially, and starts bashing his head, because in a way he probably sees like, wow, I could never top everything that you're doing. That was my slothfulness shining through, and I must atone for that. I must punish myself. I must bash my head against a rock for some reason. But it further shows his eccentricity and his just insanity. And that's when Petelgeuse lets us in on what they're doing during the ordeal. He tells us that the whole point of this ordeal is to see whether or not Emilia could be a vessel for the witch of envy. And that is a huge moment, because now we finally know what they want with her. It's not just to kill her, it's not anything like that. They want to know if she is a worthy vessel. And I guess they realized she wasn't a worthy vessel a while ago when Petelgeuse showed up and he was holding her body dead, because he was like, wow, thank you for saving us for the trouble. So apparently there's a predetermined point in time where the Witch of Envy will return, and the Witch of Envy needs a vessel to return to. And I guess because Emilia is a half elf, silver hair, all of that stuff, very similar and reminiscent of the Witch of Envy, apparently, she was thought to probably be the perfect vessel. But the fact that she needs a vessel to return to insinuates that the Witch of Envy does not have a corporeal body and is simply some sort of spirit or some sort of soul, probably similar to Petelgeuse, where it's just kind of floating and it's locked away, it's sealed away somewhere. They couldn't kill the Witch of Envy, but they were able to kill the body in which she inhabits, potentially. And so the Witch of Envy itself right now is just this existing, floating, I don't know, like consciousness, like no body, just consciousness, and it needs a body to inhabit. So yeah, this was such a cool eye-opening moment to learn this information for sure. And then of course we let Petelgeuse in on the fact that we are bullshitting him, and we ride off on Patrash. Patrash is the best, because Patrash saves us in this moment where she bashes into Petelgeuse, and then Subaru hops on and they run. And yeah, I just feel safe anytime Patrash is around, because yeah, she will do anything for us at this point. She is the most loyal of all. The loyalty that Subaru has for Amelia, he has returned to him from Pertrash and from Ram, not Ram. So yeah, I think it's so cool to see that all these characters flock around Subaru almost. And Subaru does have a couple of close moments where he's riding off on Pertrash, and it happens to be the Yappers in this situation that kind of come to his rescue, and so he's able to ride off, and then we approach what looks to be a very familiar scene, a very familiar location, where we are in front of the jagged rocks that we once jumped off to end our life. The one time Subaru has ever actually forced return by death himself. He forced the hand of it. He didn't just get killed or anything. He literally reset by his own hand, is where we end up. I don't know the importance of this location, or if it just so happens to be somewhere that Subaru knows is secluded and potentially that have no witch fiends around. And so once we get there, we basically say, yeah, we got your natural born enemy here, and it happens to be Julius. Julius, who is a spirit arts user. I don't know if spirit arts kind of counter some of the stuff that Petelgeuse is able to do, or if it is literally just the fact that Julius is able to see through Subaru's eyes. So Julius is able to see the unseen hand and is a literal natural enemy for Petelgeuse for this reason, because Subaru and Julius are able to literally take him down without him even being able to put up a fight, because while Subaru is literally just there to be eyes, Julius is able to actually use his fighting abilities to take down Petelgeuse. And maybe there's something more there. Maybe he'll be able to do something more than just that. Subaru and Julius have these really nice moments where they address each other's problems with one another. You'll have to forgive me, it sounds like someone's cutting grass outside, but I'm getting close to wrapping this up, so I don't want to just stop talking. They address each other's problems with one another, and they address the fact that Subaru hates Julius, but yeah, I think it's a really touching moment, because I feel like the words that they say are enough to get past the problems that they have. Subaru calls Julius the greatest knight, and that's so cool. That's such a cool title, especially coming from Subaru. And Subaru learns that Julius was holding back when he broke every arm and leg in Subaru's body, and so Subaru's like, yeah, you're the kind of person I hate the most. And in a way, it's like, is that because he is naturally gifted, unlike Subaru? It's everything that Subaru isn't, in a way. And yeah, it's just really funny to see them bond over being mean to each other in a way. It's just really fun to watch play out. And that's when we learn that Subaru and Julius are using that one spell that I cannot remember the name of, forgive me, that allows gates to communicate with one another. But because we know that Subaru is well attuned and well received by these spirits, he is able to communicate messages probably both ways. Like, he's able to communicate in more ways than most when it comes to this spell. That is why this great plan from Subaru goes so well, because Julius is able to use this information and use Subaru's eyes to see the unseen hand, and they're going to be able to take down Petelgeuse no problem. And I cannot wait to see how this wraps up in the next episode. One episode left. Is really crazy to think that we're about to finish this series. But yeah, what a great fun episode. I really love this episode a lot. The finale was so good. I loved it so much. And yeah, I'm excited to see where we go from here, how we wrap up the season, how we lead into season 2. Very excited. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below letting me know your favorite episode of season 1. And yeah, of course, I'm going to be wrapping this one up today, but I hope that you guys are able to have a great day today and that you're able to take it easy. I will see you in the next one. Take care.